friends. So I was born just in time to remember clearly the first thing I ever bought online. A Motion City soundtrack band t-shirt. I handed over my babysitting money to my parents, talking them into the idea that putting their credit card information into a website was both normal and safe. When I first wore that shirt, hacked up with a sewing machine to make the unisex boxy fit tighter, a small handful of emo kids at my Midwestern Catholic school asked me about the band, how long I'd been a fan of them, which songs I liked, how I'd heard of them. They wanted to make sure I actually listened to the music, participated in the scene, that I hadn't just purchased a new image at a hot topic. This, of course, was gatekeeping. Maybe. Like, I'm no prescriptivist, you can use words however you want, but maybe some context could be delicious and nutritious for us all here, yeah? In 1947, before gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss became the ironic cool girl catchphrase it is now, communications researcher and social psychologist Kurt Lewin coined gatekeeping in a study about the grocery habits of Midwestern families. To be honest, I started working on this video because I was like, ugh, you dorks have corrupted the meaning of gatekeeping. You're on TikTok demanding people stop gatekeeping and list out the retailers of every item of their outfits. And gatekeeping is about culture and access and identity and power. It's not about what products you buy, but as it turns out, it's exactly about the products you buy. It was news, I guess, to psychologists at Lewin's time that it was housewives and not their husbands who made the purchasing decisions for nuclear families. So Lewin coined gatekeeping for this process where one family member had more decision-making power than others about what kinds of foods to bring into the home. Like, stop gatekeeping, Barbara, and tell us where you got the corn. But the whole reason we know about gatekeeping is because mass communications theorists grabbed that concept and applied it to media entities. There's so much information that exists in this world and you can't print all of it, so a news station or a newspaper editor is a gatekeeper that chooses which kinds of stories get published. Gatekeepers control the flow of information that the public can access. So we have gatekeeping that means deciding who gets access to a certain subculture or a workplace or an opportunity. We have gatekeeping that means here's what the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. And we have gatekeeping that means refusing to show a 360-degree view of your haircut on short-form internet video. And I think what sticks in my craw is that because we've collapsed all these different meanings into one word, I hear us starting to speak about them like they are equally offensive. As if not telling someone where you bought a skirt is on par with not inviting the one woman on your team to the after-work drinks or killing the story about an oil spill on indigenous lands. And I wanted to come in here swinging and be like, what are you doing? Why do you weirdos want to be advertised to so badly? And then I remembered the people who questioned me about my music taste when I was 14 and wearing a cool new t-shirt. And to be clear, the alt music scene was unkind to people like me for many reasons that were not like honorable and pure. But what I experienced is that the people who were checking me at the gate really wanted to know if I was gonna feed back into the scene and not just extract from it. Like, they wanted to build this culture that was just as much about creation as consumption. Along with buying albums and t-shirts, it was about making mixtapes for your friends or putting on DIY shows or making, like, I don't know, 15,000 some posts on a pop punk web forum. It serves almost a protective purpose, that kind of gatekeeping. Do you speak up when someone says something out of pocket about queer and trans people, or do you just like watching Drag Race? Do you have black friends that you invite into your home? Or did you just buy a Black Lives Matter lawn sign? Did you just buy something, or do you actually ascribe to a set of values that I ascribe to? Are you about that life? Because brands then, as now, do their very best to flatten creation and consumption into the same thing. Just smash it all together. Who you are is what you buy. If you want to be seen as modern and forward-thinking, you buy from a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand with clean graphics and a retro-futurist font that says your adulthood will look different from your parents'. Good thing we're a different kind of mattress. And what a gift the social internet is to that endeavor. Built around an ad-supported model and a bunch of strangers that feel like your friends. This is not a salesperson selling you a product. This is your pal. She's just like you and wants to let you in on her secrets. You're creating community together. She made you a mix CD of her top 10 Sephora sale recommendations. The gate is wide open and she's letting you in. This is why I get so uncomfortable with the ad-supported model of content creation, because it so effectively encourages us to consider consumption an act of identity formation. Not just in the consumption of ideas or culture, but in the consumption of product. So much that when someone isn't trying to sell you something, they don't mention where they bought their pants, we call it gatekeeping. It feels like, why are you trying to exclude me? Why can't I join your club? My life would be better if I could be a rock star girlfriend. I deserve to be a tomato girl. Just tell me how I can get what you have. I'm not pure here. I make a living from flooding the internet with the moving image. An ad ran before this video, and I still believe a little bit that if someone showed me where I could buy a lot of 60s vintage in a modern medium, I could finally be happy. And yet I do better when I try to pick apart these ideas whenever I can, like keeping this channel viewer supported rather than taking brand deals, or remembering that when I feel that spark of want for a product on the internet, that consumption of an item is not creation of an identity. Or teasing apart that we use the word gatekeeping for like 8 different ideas, but if we think about it as the act of controlling the flow of information that reaches the public, if someone is holding back information so as not to advertise to me, maybe I can think of that as a good thing. I know you're all gonna have lots of great thoughts about gatekeeping and consumption and the ad-supported internet, so I can't wait to read them all in the comments. And if you wanna help me make more of these videos, SpawnCon free, you can join the Radish Collective, my community of patrons. I'll see you soon. Bye.